And a pit stop for the leading number 18, rider Jeff May, aboard now after stopping for a rear tire and fuel. Mechanic Mike Bigfoot Earnhardt pushes the bike away, but there's a problem. Under the watchful eye of the Moto ST officials, the bike is rolled back to the pit box and put up on the stand again. So with that, enjoying the lead will be the San Jose BMW number 46 as the M4 MGO team goes to work on the bike with an as yet undetermined problem. Here, the San Jose BMW number 46 with Brian Perriott in the saddle, still at the controls. They're lapping the Rocky Mountain Kawasaki number 94 Sport Twins entry, running in the top 20 overall. Serious difficulties for the M4 MGO number 18.
Yeah, it's one of those weird things. The engine was still running. We had the rear wheel off. Accidentally, the shifter got knocked into gear. Threw the chain forward, sheared the clutch rod in half. Caused a little bit of oil leak because it displaced the seal temporarily. I don't know how these guys did it, but we got it all back into place, new rod in, and we're going again. So we'll just see what we can do.
The leader came by 4 times while Jeff May waited in agony. Now the fastest rider on the track has a long way to go in the SunTrust 8 Hours of Daytona. Welcome back to the inaugural 8 Hours of Daytona Moto ST Series. The pair of hurt-by-accident Suzuki SV650s are still carrying on an entertaining battle while turning laps towards what they hope will be a winning total at the end of this race.
It's always fun when you can ride motorcycles, and when you put a long race together at Daytona, and you know, it's the premier place, and you get to ride with your friends and your girlfriend and stuff like that. It's, you know, makes it even more fun. Doing the Moto ST and the ST class on a SV650 Suzuki, and we're basically you know, trying out the inaugural race, you know, being the first to ride under the lights in an endurance race at Daytona, and have a lot of fun and just see where we end up. Myself and Stephen Breckenridge, we've both been endurance racing for 5-6 years or so, and Nicole Hoffman, she brings a lot of stuff to the table also. She's been sprint racing for about 4 years. This is one of her first endurance races per se. She's done a lot of the team challenge stuff, but she brings a lot of stuff to the table and consistency. Stephen and I both just wrapped up championships in our respectable classes in another series. And so we have the long-term stuff. So between the 3 of us, I think we have a really good crew, and we have a chance to really be up front.
The best combination is what's going to win in all 3 of the classes. The best combination of rider talent, the best combination of pit stops, and the best chemistry among a hard-working crew. Currently 15th overall and 3rd in the Sport Twins class. Crozier is due for a stop, and then he'll hand over the handlebars, not to his partner Stephen Breckenridge, but scheduled to ride next is his racer girlfriend Nicole Hoffman.
We're going into this race looking to have a good time, and I'm looking to gain a lot of experience from this since it is my first endurance race. So I'm looking to learn a lot from Stephen and from Mark. Each of us, we're going to ride our hardest and you know, probably do a stint, some double stints. So it'll be a good time. Our team owners, CJ Zaya, picked the colors of the bike, and they're definitely going to stand out when the lights go on and it gets a little bit dark out. So we're looking to be seen out there, especially for our sponsors, Justin's and TeamHurtByAccident.com.
Everybody's we're well prepared. They've worked all day and all night getting the bike ready to go. Pia's helping us out with some lights, and we should be good to go. Looking forward to having a lot of fun.
Most of the teams that came here certainly had fun as a big part of their component, because there was so much unknown about this event that what could they do but come here and race motorcycles and enjoy themselves. Now, with Nicole Hoffman on board, number 16 keeps fighting for a spot on the podium in their class and making laps. That's what it's all about. Meanwhile, World Endurance Champion Stefan Mertens brings the leading San Jose BMW to pit road for a routine and very relaxed pit stop. With the problems for the number 18, they enjoy a comfortable lead and can afford to take time to do it without a hurry. As they re-enter the track, Mertens has given up the lead to the number 83 BMW Cycles of Daytona entry, ridden by former teammate and fellow world champion Warwick Nowland. But Mertens and Nowland find each other soon enough. A meatball flag is being shown for the number 83 at the start-finish, however, and Mertens has moved up front again. The number 19 Buell continues to lead the Grand Sport Twins class in the company of the Sport Twins leading number 17, which has now fallen back to battle with the number 9 for second in class. Nowland serves his stop-and-go penalty for a pitting infraction. Many of the motorcycle riders follow their instincts and not the relatively unfamiliar rules about not passing the pace car or backing up to the pit stall if they overshoot it by a little bit. These are rules that are enforced strictly by the Moto ST officials. US 250 GP champion Jimmy Felice is aboard the number 9 Kawasaki, battling with the Blue Ridge Performance number 17. Also the Kawasaki EX650 by Derek Keyes, Matt Lapham, and hotshot novice Robert Wilkie. Pass and repass has been going on for a while between these two and seems to be showing signs of more. Two nearly identical bikes, two very determined riders, one a veteran and one a relative youngster. Stay with us here at the SunTrust Moto ST Series inaugural 8 hours of Daytona. Welcome back to Daytona, the world center of racing in the inaugural SunTrust Moto ST Series 8 hours at Daytona. Jimmy Felice takes the pair of 9s Kawasaki up high on the banking, running second in class just ahead of the number 17. And the 17 is due for a pit stop. Felice teamed with dirt tracker Nick Cummings and road racer Brian Stokes on the Gary Nixon J. Springsteen number 9. Their intention is to run the entire 8 hours on a single set of Pirelli tires because they think they can avoid tire changing problems. Frankly, they hadn't practiced that. And time lost in the pits. Fuel stops and rider changes only are the strategy for them. The smaller bikes are much easier on tires, and choosing the hardest compound offered, Nixon, Springer, Felice and company are rolling the dice. Meanwhile, the Blue Ridge Performance bike comes to pit road. With only a 4-gallon fuel load mandated by Moto ST rules, pit stops are 2 to 3 per hour here on the banking at Daytona. Tire changes, of course, are much more optional. Blue Ridge Performance bike comes in, fuel and a rider change. It looks like Robert Wilkie will take over. 4 gallons of fuel go in the bike, and it appears as though they will be able to re-enter the race if things don't take too much longer here with Gary on the fuel can there. And they'll be able to get back into the race without losing third spot. Meanwhile, in the SST class, the Team Zyvax number 7 running 5th makes a pass on the luckless number 33, ridden now by Mike Himmelsbach. After losing time in the pits on the first lap, they were also assessed a stop-and-go penalty, but the team has fought back from last place, climbing into the top 10 overall.
We had a wheel inadvertently get on the tire tree that was missing a spacer. It got put on the bike. My fault. I get credited for the kill, but we're going to come back. We're working hard.
Mike Himmelsbach on the Cycle World Daytona Valley Racing number 33, and Scott Lehman aboard the Zyvax number 7, 6th and 7th overall, both on Suzuki SV1000s, pretty much equal on speed up in the banking. Himmelsbach's small size not throwing much of a draft for the Zyvax bike to use. Behind them both, the M4 MGO number 18 is making up lost time as well.
Oh yeah, it's looking really good out there. Fortunately, we got off to a little bit of a bad start. We didn't get our tires warmed up this morning. I'll tell you, the bike's handling really great. The guys at GMD CompuTrack that set it up, I mean, this thing holds tight. It's amazing what she'll do out there. And the guys from Blaze Cycle worked on the motor. It's holding really well. The times are good, not as high as we'd want them, but we're going to work up to those. It's a long race. 8 hours is a long time. It's who's there at the end, so we'll be there.
Up from behind comes Chris Ulrich on the number 18, his usual AMA Superbike race number. It's an opportunity for Ulrich to ride for his father's famous Team Hammer effort. He's making the best of it, helping teammates Mike Barnes and Jeff May try to take back 4 laps lost early. They have cut half of those 4 laps off already. Big problems for the number 70, which led the Grand Sport Twins class early. A refueling fire hastily extinguished by the crew has left the James Gang Buell covered in fire bottle powder, but otherwise okay. In Sport Twins, Blue Ridge Performance and the number 87 Speedworks team are still haggling over a podium spot. The 87, piloted by Melissa Burkhoff, a multi-time endurance champion in Wira, Many of these riders familiar with racing against one another, just not under these conditions. An 8-hour endurance race at Daytona is quite something different. And when it's the first ever Moto ST Series race in what promises to be a new series that will come along quite well over the coming years, we're looking forward to a lot of action here at Daytona and at other tracks around the country in this great series. Chris Ulrich ahead of the Team Zyvax entries in SST, but among the leaders in the Sport Twins class so far have been the pair of nines, one of whom was supposed to ride until crashing in dirt track.
Oh, I'm a little sore. It's been 11 weeks now. It hurts to get my arms up over my head, but I can do it, and I'm getting a lot better every week, you know, a little process, and like I said, I got a half a Harley in the middle of my back with all the metal I got back there. I got 12 screws and 2 steel rods, and number 7 vertebrae was broke, and I broke 11 ribs, so it hurts to breathe. But hey, we're having a great time. I think we're running 3rd overall, or 3rd in our class, and I think like 12th or 13th overall. So hey, we're having fun at it, and Jimbo's out there on the bike right now. Nick Cummings just come off in it, and things are good though, man. We're having a great time, and it's great to have opportunity to do it like this. And here in March, I'll be on the bike, hopefully.
In March, the first full season for the Moto ST Series will begin with another event here at Daytona International Speedway. Jim Felice keeps making laps on those same Pirelli tires while Springer makes plans to ride next time out. We'll be back. Moto ST is brought to you by Top One Oil Products Company. Top One, premium synthetic oil, only for riders who want the best oil in their bikes. Made in the USA, distributed by K&L Supply. The fight in Sport Twins is tightening up with the number 9 just in front of the battle between Blue Ridge and Speedworks. Brian Cradgett on the 87, I believe, leading Keys on the number 17 through the tri-oval and into turn 1. The possibility of a 3-way battle on the track getting better with each lap. Blue Ridge drafting up and taking the number 2 spot out of the draft. Getting a sniff of the draft from the number 9 bike in front of them as well, side by side, down into turn number 1, and just behind the class leader on the number 9. Great racing action here in the Sport Twins class as these guys go after it, and oh, smoke, oh, and down goes the number 87 bike. Smoke off the rear tire, losing the front end. The rider's moving around. Let's take another look at that. Can only imagine perhaps a missed shift. We see a little foot action, then a little bit of smoke off the back tire, then too much brake as he was heading for the grass, and down goes that number 87 bike. Leaving the battle over to the number 17 Blue Ridge Performance entry and Jim Felice.